folks. So we're just gonna give everybody a minute here to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. While you're in here, you can go ahead if you haven't signed up for our conference here at the end of the month. Please scan that code there at the QR code at the bottom right of your screen. Learn more about our free conference coming up here at the end of the month. You can also see it in my banner in the background there. That is Wednesday, April 29th, our free conference in Omaha, Nebraska. We're going to have a lot of great sessions, content from both Oracle, de novo. We're going to have some customer stories. We're going to have just a lot of great meetups. It's all 100% free, free food. Lots of great activities going on there. Be able to connect with other members of the community, as well as with Oracle and partners. It's a great way for us to kind of get the community back together. Great way for you to learn about the products. We have a lot of presentations queued up on Customer Success Navigator, on AI, and a ton of other topics as well. So please take a second to scan that code down there. It's a completely free conference. We're hoping to get everybody there so we can kind of get this Heartland Oracle user group back up, allow you to discover more about the products, be able to share your customer stories and connect with other users, and also provide us all an ability to get together and influence Oracle as well. Tell them what we need as customers and what we're expecting. So with that, please, again, scan the code there if you get a chance. I'll give you just a couple more seconds. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and turn it over to the topic of the day, which we do have Abhi here, who's going to talk to us about AI and EPM. So Abhi, I'll turn it over to you, and you can give a quick introduction and get on your way.
Thank you very much, Lee. I had a little challenge in getting in, but finally I'm in. Will you be driving the slides, or is that?
Yeah,
fine?
we've got them. We've got them progressing as you go forward.
Okay, perfect. So I'll ask you to kind of switch between and go to the next slide. So you'll have to help me. All right, thanks a lot. So my apologies, I'm a couple of minutes late, but once again, very excited. So hello, everyone. My name is Abhi Rana. I'm from Lenovo, and it is really a pleasure to be here with you guys. So what I'm going to kind of talk about, as you can see, the topic, it's all about AI, right? So what I would like to talk about is the artificial intelligence, that is actually beginning to transform everything, but also includes the planning and budgeting side of the world within Oracle EPM. So I will kind of focus on how these capabilities are applied to real practical world when it comes to planning, forecasting side of the world. I'll keep my my focus of discussions on the planning and forecasting only. So this particular session is not just about the AI concept, but it's really about how AI can enhance the way the finance teams are today, kind of planning and forecasting, making different decisions when it comes to the world of planning or the world of finance. So really moving from a very manual process that typically has been the case, or more assumption-driven processes, to a very intelligent, data-driven, data pattern-driven planning process. So whether you're still heavily reliant on the old spreadsheets, or maybe you are already using Oracle EPM. So maybe you want to really explore how the buzzword AI is there. How do we incorporate that in the world of planning process? So my goal today is to kind of give you a walkthrough, very quick walkthrough of how these capabilities can be adopted, how they are meaningful for your organizations, how they can be scalable for you. So I will keep my discussions on that itself. So as you can see, the agenda, my agenda is really talk about some of the challenges here. If you go back to the slide, so we talk about the intelligent planning, which you probably have heard that term, the AI capabilities, and so on. Um, so let me talk about challenges, and before that, let me talk about myself quickly. I come from a very strong Oracle background from product development. Almost 25 plus years I've been doing this, implementing tons of solutions on the EPM side, both commercial and public sector, and I have done many presentations. So I'm very glad to be here. If I go to the challenging next slide and talk about the challenges, because I think very important part is to understand what the challenges are today. So when we look at planning in most of the organizations today, we see that it is still traditional, right? It is, you create a budget once in a year, then it kind of becomes outdated because the business conditions are changing on a very, or the economic condition, as you can see currently, they're changing on a very day-to-day basis, on a weekly basis. Um, and many of the organizations are still relying on Excel spreadsheets. They're relying on different versions of the files, different places, a lot of manual adjustments. There's a lot of back and forth that happens between just to align those numbers. So forecasting in many ways, in many cases, have it's kind of assumption driven rather than a data or a data pattern driven, right? Interestingly, you might have 5, 10 years of data in your system, but you actually are not leveraging to see how that pattern can be helpful for you. You're still doing your assumption driven kind of planning. So because of that, the planning cycles, they tend to be much longer. They tend to be very resource intensive. So and by the time you really finalize your kind of forecasting, things have changed, right? As you can see currently, things are moving at a very fast pace. So and there is also very limited visibility into different variances, within the financial side of the world, different drivers that you are using, and again, it makes more difficult for any leadership to really look at the numbers and really trust those assumptions that are not really close to the reality. So overall, finance teams are spending a lot of time building the plans, um, um, building all these projections and all, but not really getting the very insight or data insight into your organizations, your own data, your own different drivers that are kind of driving those numbers. So that is kind of a challenge that EPM AI model really can help you. So if you go to the next slide, uh, you can see
And
from
Abhi,
a
sorry to interrupt. I
yeah,
just wanted to let folks know that there is a Q&A. Please put your questions in the Q&A there, and we'll have a chance at the end to present those to Abhi and have him answer it. Thanks.
absolutely. Yeah, thanks, Lee. So from a from a planning point of view, the evolution of planning, if we talk about it, um, it it started a couple of years back. We all know that we started with kind of a reactive planning, which was purely you look at the historical data, you look at the static data, but then slowly the organizations moved on to having a very integrated planning where you have data coming from different sources, from your ERP, some of the system, and you kind of got kind of have a very connected planning where these are sources. So that's a next step of kind of evolution of planning side of the world. And then came the predictive planning side of it. People who probably know Oracle EPM for quite some time, or some of people may know crystal ball, the terms like crystal ball and predictive planning. That part was incorporated in planning where organizations started using data, the machine learning to forecast outcomes more accurately. But now we are entering into kind of a next phase of it, what we call intelligent planning. And that's what Oracle calls it, intelligent performance planning. So that's where AI is not just helping you for the prediction for that outcome, but it also provide a very insight, kind of identifies different patterns, identifies different anomalies. It supports your decision making and looks at the data, the patterns. I think that is what is making it the next steps, and we can drill down to some more details that it provides. So the real shift we are seeing is from the predictive that we had to intelligent planning. That's kind of an evolution of EPM. So if you go to the next slide, we can take a little bit deeper dive on the EPM side. So in Oracle EPM, it's not a separate tool. Typically, that you will probably see in most of the places that the AI will be a separate add-on tool that you will have a bolt-on capabilities where it can pick up the data. But in case of EPM, it's actually embedded into the EPM platform itself, which makes it absolutely great. So Oracle refers this as I said earlier, as intelligent performance management. So there are pieces, what we call AI modeling pieces that are leveraged across different business functionality. So it brings together the machine learning and the predictive analytics and Gen AI capabilities into the planning process. So all and everything within one single environment where not only your planning process but also your reporting process is kind of leveraging these kind of AI capabilities. So this is important for customers. This is important for organizations that don't want a separate tool, but they want a kind of a single integrated AI capabilities within their financial planning model. So so AI is becoming part of existing plan by this kind of it really enriches the users who are already using AI on other front also, but then within the financial planning world, they start leveraging the AI. If you go to the next slide, some AI capabilities, if we kind of drill a little bit deeper, given that our short time, but keeping it very high level, within Oracle EPM, there are several AI kind of capabilities or AI-driven capabilities. Predictive planning, it provides the baseline, for forecast using the historical data, using the historical trends. Then advanced prediction, that builds on by using multiple drivers and more sophisticated machine learning models. So it does not really use just the simple data, but it is actually using different variants, different drivers to really come up with the proper prediction. Then anomaly detection is another area where it identifies some kind of unusual spikes, unusual trends in your data, unusual variances in some kind of biases also in your process, right? So it allows you to kind of create those. So and then Gen AI at the same time, which is part of the narrative reporting. It comes handy for narrative reporting. Is actually cool feature where it kind of look at your data, look at how the trend of that is, and it generates a narrative automatically out of that. So that those are another capabilities that, from a reporting point of view, and really giving you insight to more intelligent data that you can access to. So if you go to the next slide, we may take a little deeper dive on the advanced prediction. So this is where actually things are getting interesting when it comes to advanced prediction. So traditional forecast typically looks at your historical data and it extends a trend forward. But advanced prediction, it actually goes beyond that. It uses multivariate machine learning models, which means it can consider multiple business drivers, as I was earlier saying that things like demand, pricing, seasonality, or business factors, and many other economic factors that you really want to feed into the system. It kind of looks at that as long as you have, even if you have the data feeding to those, it automatically selects the best fit model. So users or the organizations really don't have to do a data scientist or maybe hire a data scientist to do that job because it has those pre-built models. I might have some example as well. I do have example of those different models that are there. So importantly, it provides a very explainable predictions so that you don't just get the numbers, but you also understand what is driving behind the numbers in those. So this keeps, it's a very key step in making planning more intelligent and more actionable. If you go to the next, I have some slide talking about different, as I said, different prediction models, univariant, multivariant, and also Oracle comes with this Oracle Auto MXL, MLX, that is part of it. So when you do the configurations and when you're choosing it as part of the AI bot, which is part of the EPM, you can choose what kind of prediction model that you want to use, whether you want to use native forecast or theta forecast, and so on and so forth. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see that this is an example of volume prediction dashboard. This is from a demo application, by the way. So it gives you an overview of volume performance. It uses multiple external, internal inputs, drivers such as industry volumes, advertisement, promotions, sales prices, and other rates. It kind of helps you generate. If you go to the next slide, it gives you kind of the best case, worst case scenarios. If you click on the next one, you kind of build onto that. You can see the last couple of months and years of data, and then it generates and it is predicting that, hey, your prediction is in actuality it is showing less 4%, but your assumptions are showing 40% more. I don't think it is right, because your assumptions seem to be not looking at the data trends that have been there or other anomalies that are there, so on and so forth. So it kind of gives you a deeper insight. And if you have drill down features enabled, you can always go back and drill down further and see the data behind the scene. In terms of if you have, say, ERP, you can connect to Oracle ERP or any ERP and drill down and see the numbers. So it kind of gives you that insight. It identifies that. It gives you that level of detail. If you go to the next slide, which is anomalies, another area where that's a very important capabilities, where and instead of you relying on users to manually find the report, review the data, and then identify the issue, the system automatically kind of flags some kind of unusual activity, some kind of unusual trends and variances within the system. And it can be any kind of unexpected spikes within your expenses, within your revenue, within your even the sales. If there is a sales bias and all, it kind of can track that. So by highlighting these changes early on, the organizations can really find those anomalies. They can act on it. They can work on it. So what it does, it overall improves your quality of your prediction. It kind of reduces the risk of things getting unnoticed, because in one of the previous example you saw that it was 4% less or minus 4%, but you were actually thinking it is 40% high. Now at least you can have a look at it and kind of rectify that, and that's kind of benefit of what AI is kind of doing that. So if you go to the next slide of using the Gen AI within the reporting, which is further slide. If you go to next. Yeah, so Gen AI. So if you go to Gen AI, as I said, it's starting to play a very big role in the reporting side of the world. So traditionally, the finance team, they spend very significant amount of time writing all the commentary for any numbers, any variants which are coming up, and then they summarize it. But in case of Gen AI, it all can be very kind of automated. So the system can look at you look at your data. It can it can look at those variances. It can highlight the key changes. It can draft even the narratives section of the report automatically for this. It looks at your data. It sends that data to an engine, Fusion AI engine, that generates a narratives for as a response back, and that it sends back to narrative reporting tool within EPM, and then it kind of writes that context or that narration. If you go to the next slide, you'll see there's an example on the right side that it kind of is writing some context. So it is really helpful because rather than you focusing and spending time, now at least you can see the context that AI has generated, and then you can further drill down and see and maybe append it or change it. So this reduces your manual efforts. It also accelerates your reporting cycle, and more importantly, it allows your finance team to really focus on more on the productive side of the work, more on analysis and decision support, but rather than just spending time on documentation, figuring this out. So it kind of definitely helps out in your overall process of report development. Narrative reporting is end product and very critical product anyway. So that and having a AI, Gen AI kind of capabilities, and narrative report tool itself has many of those capabilities that make your life. But having a Gen AI on top, it's a uh, kind of cherry on the cake. So if you go to next slide. Um, So use cases, again, given the time, we may not be able to jump quite in detail, but at a very high level, it can be applied across, different planning use cases. From a forecasting point of view, you can apply it on revenue, you can apply it on expense projections. From workforce planning point of view, it can help you to have a better headcount planning, cost modeling, um, and in case of scenario modeling, you can look at different drivers like inflation, demand shift, market condition, economic conditions, you have war situation, and so on and so forth. So you can look at those scenarios, and that allows you to really leverage these and to have a realistic projections, because we are talking about all about the future here. From a cash flow forecasting point of view, it can also provide you better insight, better visibility in your into your liquidity, your financial positions overall. So in real world, this application really can help a lot for any organization to adopt. So if I move on to the next slide. So quickly, the key business impact, if I kind of talk about, is when first of all, the Oracle EPM itself, from a very traditional Excel spreadsheet based application, if you just are leveraging and using Oracle EPM, there's a day and night difference, right? But on top, when organizations they start using the AI within EPM, the impact is clearly tangible. Because the planning cycles can become much faster, because your manual efforts of many of those anomalies and those predictions that we talked about, they are cut down because you don't spend time on those. Your forecasting is more accurate now, I would say, because your predictions are not based on assumptions, but they are more based on the data. They are more based on different data patterns, as long as we are feeding those patterns right. And the team will spend less time managing and running all these spreadsheets and kind of analyzing the data, but more on really making the right decision, looking at the data in the right way. So from a broader perspective, I would say the organization can become more agile, better prepared to respond to any change that is happening. So and AI is already there, embedded in Oracle EPM. It is part of it. Uh, yeah, I would recommend organization can start very small, focus on one use cases if you want to adopt it, and then slowly scale it further down, because Oracle EPM has tons and tons of features, tons of module. It's a suite of its own. So the key message that I would leave here with this, I know from a time point of view, I want to leave some time for questions. So AI in EPM is not something that is for the future. It's already here. It is already part of EPM, and it is in practice today. In some shape or form, the customers are using it. So definitely a feature to enable, definitely a feature to leverage and use. So with that, I will take a pause and see if there are any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. That's really great. I know, particularly as a customer myself, this is something that we're really interested in. And I'd say for others, before we start with the questions here, just a reminder that we do have if you like what you're hearing here, there's more to come April 29th. Scan the QR code above my head here to learn more about our free conference coming up at the end of the month in Omaha, Nebraska. And a reminder that if you do have questions for Abby here, please just put them in the Q&A, which you should see over there on the side of your GoToWebinar. I will start here. You mentioned this a little bit, Abhi, but see if you have anything to add. Someone asked, AI sounds great, but for organizations that are just getting started with EPM, where should they begin? What's the best entry point?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the key is to start small as I said earlier also, right? Focus on very high impact use cases. And I would say planning and forecasting is the best thing to start with, especially focusing on revenue and expense forecasting side of it. So the capabilities like predictive planning, advanced prediction, that can be introduced without you disturbing your existing processes at all. And you can run them alongside, right? You can have let the AI generate this, and let me also use my existing assumptions and see how much of AI is different from, right? It would be kind of a use case for you to start with, right? But it also will help build you a confidence in the system while you are kind of adopting to AI, because again, as we are all trying to adopt to AI. So I, I can tell you that I'm sure there will be definitely improvement in overall accuracy. The if you adopt to that, your cycles will be faster, and then once you adopt it and you kind of vet it out, then you can move on to other modules like workforce planning, scenario modeling, and reporting and other areas that you want to jump in. So start small, and then take it and scale it up. That's what I would say.
Great. Um, and how reliable would you say that the AI predictions are? Like, should we just fully trust them, or do we need to still look for making manual adjustments?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Actually, uh, it's not AI as we know. I mean, hopefully, they are not here to replace human judgments, right? They are actually help us enhance us, right? So what AI really does well is it identifies a pattern that, as I showed you in this, some of the examples through screenshots, right? It finds the trends, it finds a relationship in the data, that we as humans can do it, but we may take more time. So with advanced prediction, when there are different drivers that I was talking about, different patterns, it can actually accurately find the trends and provide you the insight to that. So it really provides you a deeper insight of the data than you typically can find out. So the real value comes, as I said, when you combine the system generated prediction with the business context. Of course, the human intervention is required. So, um, like for example, the finance team can apply their and work with their marketing and sales team to apply what's the market condition, what is the different decisions that are coming up, economic changes that are happening, and then you argument with the AI. I think you will have better results than what a human can do. So it is not meant to replace what humans are doing, but it is kind of augmenting to what you are already doing. It helps you out, it enhances you.
Great. We have another one here. Will there be any changes to the EPM dimensions with AI? Maybe more flexibility to add, delete, change dimensions without doing a major system overhaul?
No, it's a good question. That is purely from a framework point of view. So it does not. So you can actually enable within your current existing structure of dimensionality. It is not going to allow you to do that, but I know exactly what you're saying. If you're adding an additional dimension, what is the impact? uh, that impact remains. The only thing is what Oracle has done is for adding additional dimension and enabling for a new cube. You can always do that, enable for a certain cube, or you can leverage it. But no, it yeah, I know if you add a new dimension for a cube, that problem persists. And I know exactly, but you can always leverage and enable for a new cube. That specific cube you can leverage only for your AI. You can dump the data, dump historical data, run AI modeling on that. We can certainly do that.
Great. Well, thanks, Sabi. We really appreciate it. This has been a great conversation again for everybody. I do want to take a second here before folks drop off to remind you again about our free conference at the end of the month here in Omaha. There is an important point here I do want to point out for anyone who attends in person, there will be a free Oracle AI certification credit. So that's a value of over $200 that's available to anyone who attends. So not only do you get to come and hear more great presentations like this one today, from speakers from Oracle and de novo and other customers like yourself, connect with other customers, discover what's new in the products, be able to share your own stories and share with others your successes and where you have challenges. You'll also get that free certification credit for anyone who joins us in person in Omaha at the end of the month. So please scan that code over there to be able to register for the event. We also are doing a call for papers through April 15th. So if you want to share your own customer story, please submit through that link, which is available, and we'll send this out as well to the attendees. The link to the recording will also be on our LinkedIn after the presentation, as well as the links to sign up and for the call for presenters. But it's going to be a great time, a full day of education sessions free to you to attend, and you're going to get that free certification credit worth over $200 available to you as well. So please tell your friends. We're starting this back up from a grassroots effort, so it takes everybody to share through the community to make this be a great community resource, completely volunteer ran for you as users of Oracle in the region. So thank you, everyone. We really appreciate your time today, and we hope to see you at the end of the month.